The last time I played The Messenger was dead center in the middle of a 24-hour indie game focus, and it was a lot of fun. We got to the point where the game switched perspectives from 8-bit to 16-bit, which was really cool. It was a surprise for me. I hadn't seen any trailers or been spoiled on the game, so if you go back and watch that first episode, you can see me being shocked by that. I did get some YouTube comments that were upset that I wasn't talking to the shopkeeper. I just didn't realize that the shopkeeper had interesting dialogue. I don't think the game kind of pushed me to do it early on. I did talk to him towards the end of the playthrough, and it was pretty funny. So from those comments and some much nicer people in my Discord and chat pushing me to start talking to him, I'm going to do that more often now. So let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, since it was a 24-hour stream, I was trying to see as much game as possible too, so it didn't occur to me that the chat option would have significant content behind it. But I guess maybe it's because it's meant to be a speedrunnable game that you make some of that optional. Make sure I got everything still looking good. It's great. Let's go. I really like what we played in the first 2 hours of this. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. 39 more power seals to open that. So what, you choose to wear a hat too? What? You have the same hats. No, I got it first. Is that what you're gonna tell yourself? Fine. Did have the hat first and you were all over it. I think that's what happened at the end of the last episode during the 24-hour stream, is he praised my hat. Current area. Welcome to the Cloud Ruins, remnants of a civilization of giants who used to live in the sky. The place is beautiful, but the structures feel precarious. Bad place if you're afraid of heights. How high am I? You mean in my opinion? Oh, geographically. Enter the Tower of Time at the top of the mountain and exit to the top of the tower. Fairly high. Let me look. What's the deal with everything looking so different? How are you going to deal with the implications of time travel? It seems ignorance really is bliss. But moment sent me to the future. Neat. Precisely, neat. Any stories to share? So once a starving little boy who never missed a chance to help his fellow villagers. One day, after helping an old man carry a heavy bundle of wheat, he was offered a loaf of bread. Eat your fill, my boy, it is well deserved. Do you feel like helping even more? There are 2 gnomes hiding in the forest who are even hungrier than you are. That boy was an empathetic one. His mind was made up instantly. After a short hike, he found the gnomes and split the bread between the 2 of them without even saving a bite for himself. Thank you, kind little boy, the gnomes beamed. It seems you've lifted our curse. Punish them for their greed is fear to put them under a rather annoying spell. Exiled to the forest, carrying a magic little mill capable of producing anything its bearer desired. The little mill's magic would only be activated once the gnomes are fed by a stranger acting out of selfless generosity. Beauty and the Beastish. To starve while carrying a relic promising abundance. Cruel fate indeed. Imagine the boy's surprise when he was given the magic item. Name something you want while turning the crank to the right. The little mill will produce an endless stream of it. Turn it to the left and it will stop. Yeah. Andrea likes to tell that joke. I do believe in time travel. We're all time traveling right now at the rate of 1 second per second. As he grew in popularity, his older sister grew in jealousy. One night she couldn't take it anymore and stole the mill from her brother's bedside table. Oh, this really is a lot of text. Adding insult to injury, she left on the family's fishing boat to reach new lands, hoping to have her turn in the role of the popular purveyor. Once out at sea, she decided to try one of the pies, which to her taste were lacking a little something. Time to try the little mill's magic, she reckoned. Give me salt, she said. Heaps and heaps of salt. They never bothered paying attention to how the mill could be stopped. Stop, little mill, stop. Alright, because I have to turn it counterclockwise, right? Salt overflowed the boat itself, sinking it under the weight. The sunken mill is still operational to this day, and it's the reason why seawater is salty. Oh, that's cool. Cute story. Feels more like a kid story explaining things about the world we know the actual reason for. You should tell me the story and I'll judge it. Seeing how Big Sister's anger led to her demise, irritated people were henceforth referred to as salty. Seeing how Big Sister's shortcomings as a little mill operator led to her demise, unqualified people were henceforth referred to as not being worth their salt. Keep coming with morals to do with salt. The last time I played this was over a year ago. The 24-hour stream was in November of 2018. This is January 2020. So if there's something I should know from prior episode, feel free to just tell me. There's probably a double jumpy thing I need to do to survive this. I love the graphics in the 16-bit world. Super pretty. Could double jump when you hit stuff. I see. It's like a much fairer Ninja Gaiden. I see, so I might be able to use her to get up on the roof. Probably not, the way the roof is laid out. Soundtrack of this game is really cool too. Health pickup gourds. Currency is always fun. I do remember that. Yeah, I do like the soundtrack a bit. I'm actually going to turn it up a teensy bit. Not hitting my yellow bar yet, so it's probably fine. Nice. I forget, is the pickup currency finite in this game, or can you farm for it? I think enemies respawn that you can keep fighting to get more of it, right? Currency's farmable, okay. So I don't need to worry about breaking every... oh, I see the little double jump icon. Breaking every lantern. Did the soundtrack change too when the 8-bit to 16-bit transition happens? Is it like Family Tracker before that or something? Ooh, kinda close. That's cool. Now it sounds more like a Genesis sound font. I guess the SNES was almost all like samples. So that's why there's not a consistent sound for every game on the SNES. Oh, I see. It's a pretty cool Nerdwriter video on the SNES sound chip that I put in Discord a while ago. I want to say, is it David Wise is the composer for Donkey Kong Country? Did some really crazy shit and added like hundreds of super short samples in order to make songs like Aquatic Ambience to get around the limit. Yeah. It explains why, like, every game on the Super Nintendo has a particular sound to it because the composer, like, created their own instruments for the game. Go this way. Sure. I guess if someone else can find it, it's Nerdwriter SNES. I think if you Google that, it'll be the first one to come up. I'll wait for the elevator to come back here. Yeah. Oh, they don't respawn. Do they respawn at a save, maybe? Okay, now I can still double jump off them even when I've gotten the... Okay. Good to know. Ah, but I can't get through here yet. Okay. Maybe that'll come up later. What's up, dude? Chat is great, and I've seen everything. Okay. It's the fine for saving your life. Checkpoints restore hit points up to 5. Made some good decisions when I played this last. It's like the same choices I would have made if saving those ones for last. Well, maybe not good decisions, but I'm consistent compared to my playstyle from a year ago. Please don't touch the cabinet. Cabinet's off limits. If you're not ready for what's in there, you can barge into my lab and go through my stuff like you own the place. November 2018. Touch that again, you'll have to sit through my boring story. Warning you, it's boring. It's philosophical. I'll even remove your ability to skip what I'm saying. This is your last warning. Better make sure you have some time ahead of you if you're going to touch that again. You asked for it. Don't say I didn't warn you. I can't even advance the text faster. It gets pretty lonely out here. I have a lot of time to think. The thing that bugs me is the concept of happiness. Everyone seems to be looking for it. Some pretend to have it, but no one can really explain what it is. I finally cracked the code. Everyone has goals. Oh, when I have this, I'll be happy. When I achieve that, I'll feel eternal bliss. Some people are looking for love or acceptance. Others hope Devolver will sign their kick-ass game. Sitting here at the end of time and being visited by countless travelers, I come to realize something very important. Goals don't make people happy. They defer happiness to the future. This can only fail because once you reach the goal, you're not the same person you were when you set out to achieve it. It's fair. Happiness is not a goal or a state, it's a system. Optimize your environment and cherry-pick the people around you. Every day you're stoked to live your own life. You don't need to defer any joys because you've optimized the present moment. I don't know whether that's cheesy or insightful or even just annoying. I need to optimize my own life, and that implies that you stop trying to open my cabinet, so I really hope I bored you to death. Fine, I won't open it. Achievement unlocked. Just see what I did to the last traveler got nosy. Hey, I heard that. Nice. Okay, I think that's everything. It's repeating now. Clouds. Oh god. It's Mega Man 3, right? Or no, it's 2. Wily's Castle. It's a cool sequence. Later, Dargon. Assume I could fight it if I wanted to. Assume you've got nothing new for me here. So is every lantern in the game can only be attacked once? Like it doesn't respawn its resources when you come back to that screen later? Ow. It does respawn when you die. Gotcha. Whoa, that was bad. Speaking of dying, she wish those moving blocks are more forgiving. Alright, because this dude takes my money until I pay back the debt, which I always like. He doesn't actually take it from my current stash. I didn't realize that room had a moving platform in it. I guess you should know this is here because you can see it from the screen below this one. Okay. Checkpoints are always fun. Whoops. Didn't start gliding until a little too late. That was a mistake, but it's okay, we can recover. Yeah. Excuse me. Thank you. Does not work on spikes. I love some of the like flavor stuff in the backgrounds here, like these statues. Really cool looking. Ouch. That worked. I do like the little indicator to tell you if an area is going to kill you or not. You're meant to drop down here or not. Shit. Not good. Oh, okay. Dragon's an insta-kill. Got it. Guess it makes sense. If all else fails, you can try jumping. Thanks, dude. Looks like the glide doesn't reduce your forward momentum at all, which is nice. If you just activate it for a quick second. There's a big sell for this game is the movement tech is pretty good. Let's dive in the same spot. Goodbye. Yeah. It definitely feels like a game that was meant to be speedrun. Which is why it doesn't really push you into the shopkeeper dialogue, I think. Ow. I probably could have gotten above that area. Let's see. Come here. Or are you off the screen forever? No, there's nothing up there. But I'd try, you never know. Oof. Getting close. It's a strawberry. And a mysterious emblem for the chest. Ah. Hence the checkpoint nearby. Whoa, okay, glide. I need to already have my momentum from jumping, I guess. Okay. Yeah, the way the death penalty is handled in this game is smart. I really like that it's not based on your current count of currency, and it would be like more ideal, and I think I could die there. It'd be more ideal to die when you're broke. So I need to be able to get bounce and then immediately grappling hook over the other one. This is pretty tough compared to the other optional ones up to this point. I can hear Ice Cap Zone, yeah. It's one of the songs that's rumored to have been partially composed by Michael Jackson, but he wasn't happy with the Genesis sound quality, so he asked to have his name removed from it. That one in, was it Death Egg Zone? I'm gonna keep trying. It's a pretty precise sequence. think this is the most I've died in the entire game. Yeah. I think I'm supposed to do it from this side. Okay, so like taking damage also refreshes your jump, it looks like. Yeah. Well, this is great. I associate this with Celeste, but maybe this game did it first. I don't remember the release order. Whoops. Be at this for a minute, apparently. I'm gonna buy a 10 deaths package in advance. Shit. Thanks for making me so productive. I got Employee of the Month. Conversion evolution, yeah. It's a pretty smart way to do difficulty in your game. Make the base game pretty accessible and then have some optional challenges along the way that people who are hardcore can try to go for. I'm gonna try jumping from the top of the platform instead of getting on the side of it this time. Maybe not. Hey Robin, how you doing? Okay, I think that's what I meant to do. First try. Golly. Sweet. Seems you're one to wander off the beaten path. Was I able to collect those prior to now? Finding all of them is optional, but if you're the kind of adventurer who likes to go for the extra challenge, you'll want to keep an eye out for hidden rooms. I might unlock an overpowered upgrade. I wonder if I saw them and just didn't attempt them during the 24-hour stream, because I didn't want to spend a bunch of stream time on it. I would have thought so too. Seems pretty late game to encounter one. Weird. I wonder why I showed up to explain it there. Maybe because it's new graphics for the thing? Oh, that could be. There wasn't an explanation for what it was. I bet that's it. $38 more seals. More Dargon. Ninja Turtle moving guy. Guessing I can probably shuriken the... Oops, well, we're dead. About to find out. To beat this, I'm excited to watch a speedrun for this game. Did it make it to a GDQ yet? Oh shit, again, same problem. Alright, I should, Yeah, I know, right, Walter? I keep not thinking that's how it's gonna work. So I think you can drop the glide to switch the way you're attacking again, right? Yeah. Like that. Assume there are particularly optional challenges that are going to require that. Woo. Thanks, game. That was nice of you. You didn't have to give me that one. Aw, oh, I thought I had it. Man, that was a roller coaster of emotions at the end. I see. Because I was just barely touching the blast line. Everything's fine. First try. Hey, new chat options. Level boss. Not sure what's up next, but the prophet wanted me to repeat a line for you at this point in the adventure. Let's hear it. I always wanted to try the voice. Check it out. And on this day, the messenger shall unwittingly make his lifesaver indebted to him. Attack the fireballs. Okay. Yeah, it's part of the show, right? If I say from the get-go that I'm gonna not play games every single day back to back until we beat it, I'm gonna have some pains returning to games like this one. Ouch. Reminding me about the way the double jump works is very helpful, as well as the grappling hook. Do I have to do something special to deflect? That I don't remember. I do love this trope in these platformers of like encountering the boss all throughout the level and then fighting them at the very end. Oh, they re-up your jump. Okay. I really like the sense of hitting in this game. Sound effects, the way the enemy flashes, feels really good when you land an attack. I assume a lot of these bosses are designed so that you can just like wreck them really fast. I remember right, that's kind of what you can do in Ninja Gaiden. Oh god. I see. It's a good way to teach you the mechanic before you need to use it to kill him, though. Right, because I can jump in addition to the bounce from doing that. Okay. Oh shit! I forgot about the whole vertical thing! If I had let off the float, it might have been enough. quite. I was out of shurikens. Now I'll know to save them. It practices for the later phases. Hitting him there restores all the clouds. Got it. So if I gotten over his head, I would have been fine last time. I like how hitting him interrupts his charge. Like, I feel like an NES game would not have done that. He would continue charging through you. Oh, Jesus! Did not do that last time. That's not good. And we're dead again. Third time's a charm. Let's do it. Gotta stop letting them hit me here. Whew. Near death. He does that. Oh god. He doesn't get interrupted by being hit in the face. First try. Was that a dragon?
Excellent!
Oh, we helped them out. Been watching you for a long time, messenger. Who are you, anyway? Disguise did fool you. Shame you freed my slave pet, but no matter. I'm now certain I can defeat you. Surprise? Nice. Underworld awaits you. At last, the scroll will be ours. Nice. You goat man. I love those level intros. It's a pretty sweet level design. It's got a sweet baseline. Yeah, earlier I was saying it sounds like a Genesis sound chip. It's got that funky slap bass sound. It's the SNES sound chip is just samples. Welcome to the Lion's Den. I didn't see any lions. No, I meant, never mind. This heat is almost unbearable. Happy to avoid certain cliches. Maybe wouldn't have lava to end your epic quest is pushing it. New stories to share. Guy visited by a succubus. Far from being that kind of demon, she offered him a unique chance to visit hell as a tourist. Adventurous by nature, he jumped into the portal. They arrived in a room where giant cauldrons boiled over bonfires. Contained people, or little demons with pikes were sitting on the rim to push anyone who tried to escape back inside. Who's in the cauldron? The man asked his succubus tour guide. It's where liars and cheaters are. It's for people who hunt for sports. Gas, the man noticed another cauldron much bigger than the other ones and devoid of any demons sitting on its rim. One cauldron seemed to self-regulate. People were pulling back in. Anyone who tried to escape. Okay, I get it. Who's this cauldron for? That cauldron, that's for people who think the order doesn't apply anymore. When another lineup opens up at the market. I know. That's right. The end. What's wrong with you? Are you that guy? Which guy? The guy who's fifth in line but rushes to be first when a new line opens up? Man, I wish we queued reasonably in the US. I understand that in like the UK, if you have 5 different stations at a grocery store, everyone gets in one line, and then the person at the front of the line goes to whichever station is open first. But in the US, we all get in separate lines. It's miserable. I think self-checkouts are working like that now in the US, which is nice. Oh shit. Oh, lava. Oh god. The self-checkout's been like that for a while, but back in the day before self-checkout was a thing, everyone would just pick a line with the cashier, and sometimes the line you were waiting for would be the wrong choice because someone in it would have to pay with a check or something, and you'd be like, oh my god. What do they call toilets in the underworld? The lavatory. Should have seen that coming. Monsters get their own cauldron. It's a neat way to introduce that mechanic, assuming it becomes more relevant later, right? Because right there, you have to learn how to use it, but there's no danger. I assume we'll see it like over a lava pit soon. Yep. Very smart. That's good level design. Strictly better than Ninja Gaiden in every way. That might be a thing over there. Shit. Nope, that was not a thing. It was just a non-climbable wall. My bad. Dude, transitioning from the vertical floating strike to the horizontal strike is pretty hard. That I do not have the muscle memory for. Spikes. Oh, does grappling still work while you're floating? Ah, yeah. Does a grapple always do the same damage as the sword? That's a good tip. But it gets me the double jump. Ugh, yeah. Okay, I bet you could do something with that later. Oh, I'm fine. Maybe if there's like really hard optional bosses later, this is pretty standard. I can set it up pretty quickly, like we did yesterday with Tony Hawk, so if it comes up, it'll come up. Oops. Yeah. Reminds me of Super Princess Peach. Actually, I want to say one of the new Super Mario Bros. Games did that as well, where all the enemies would dance to the music. The other game that I've played that uses the Genesis sound font is Odalis, which is pretty neat. It's like a Faxanadu style game. But there's a boss in it that's just Chill Penguin. It's like a zombie Chill Penguin. Yeah, Odalis the Dark Call. Kind of goes for a Genesis look. I feel like this is more, you know, SNES 16-bit graphics. Not that there were much differences. I don't see any blast processing. It's a very iconic sound font on the original Genesis. Get that mode 7. I think what my favorite application of Mode 7 was. I think I only played it for like an hour, but we did a couple games in the Enix Quintet trilogy? It's not Enix, Quintet. Terranigma, Soul Blazer, and another one. And one of them, I think it's Terranigma, is set up to use the Mode 7 so that you're on this like crazy ring world. The world map is like constantly scrolling. It's crazy looking. That's correct, Force Fades. Well, sort of. Basically, Genesis has a set of waveforms like, you know, square waves, triangle waves, that sort of a thing. Synth instruments that anyone making a song for the Genesis is going to use that same set of tools. And you can modulate the waves a little bit to get different sounds. But the SNES had very, very low, very high compression samples. So you could record something and upload it to the SNES. It would just not sound great because the compression rate was so high because the file had to be very small. Shit, I'm gonna die! Alright, gotta use the grappling hook more there. And then the set of instruments you would create in the SNES was, you could call it a sound font. So you see a lot of games like Undertale uses a lot of different sound fonts. So does Crosscode. Chrono Trigger shows up in quite a few songs. Final Fantasy VI shows up in quite a few songs. It's going a little bit better this time. I'm actually not sure if there's a really good like Genesis sequencer out there. I assume there is. Family Tracker's like the gold standard for NES chiptunes. And I want to say LSDJ is the gold standard for the Game Boy. I know a lot of like chiptune DJs like the Game Boy the best because it has a really, really crunchy bass. Genesis has that like slap bass sound that I love. Been to a couple PAX panels on chiptunes and Fake Bit, I think it's called, right? Like you don't use the original hardware, but you try to emulate the sound of like square waves and old school synthesizers. Well, that doesn't look good. I see. One of these is progress, one of them is a secret, I assume. This looks like this might be progress. Do I ever get the opportunity to return to old areas in this game? That's a bit of a spoiler, but help me to feel better about just exploring. Give me that Devil Stew since I've been dying a lot. Level boss. The Demon General is up next. Be careful out there, I hear he's pretty fast. Nowhere left to run, Demon. Why would I run? You stepped into my trap. Oh, dick. Cool. I love when they introduce the mechanic in a safe environment, and then it shows up in more dangerous ways in the level, and then it shows up in the boss fight. Big fan. Kept thinking he was gonna get stuck on the floor again. Way too much damage. Whoa, need to be jumping for that, okay. And most Genesis games have a really distinct feel to them. So that heavy bass. This boss has a lot of cool attacks. You figure out when he's actually vulnerable. Stop like hitting him while taking damage. I like he's got the little tell where his eye glows before he jumps away. It's nice. It's cool. Attack cycle. Okay, come at this a little bit more carefully this time. I want to take a selfie with you. shit. No! Okay, I gotta be jumping better, otherwise it's basically unavoidable. First paycheck always feels good. At this point I mostly see the work. Basically I need to control the trajectories and to take his next attack to be able to avoid him. That's bad. If I stay on the ground, I can't avoid him, basically. Ooh, that was unfortunate. Not a great use of iframes on my part. Shit. I get hit by that every time. I need to get better at that attack. Shit. He's much faster now, too. Here it comes. Oh, he did it again. Okay. I guess I should just be ready for him to do that attack. It's pretty close that time. We'll get him this time. Oh, I'm good for shades. You're welcome to share it in, if you type !hide before your message, then chat can see it, but I can't. Just wanted to share it with folks. I was lucky. Not calculated at all. Chris follows up with that move. And here comes his vulnerability phase. Get ready to jump away from that, and there we go. Finally dodge it. Oh shit. Now I'm gonna get to the fire though. Did an attack on close to him that time? Oh, I think I got contact damage from touching him. Okay. Now it's longer. Okay. Shit. I thought I was close. More like dumb in general. I'm the fastest there's ever been. Tell me how to end this curse or else. Is it that simple in your head, Ninja? Oh, this is bigger than you or me. Demon King is next. Mao. None of us are leaving this place alive. If I can't have the scroll, then it shall be destroyed. it's my dragon friend. Nice. I got you, buddy. Look how happy he looks. We're even now. Manfred. What kind of name is that for a sky serpent? It's not my birth name, but I always wanted to be a butler. Dress for the job you want, not the one you have, right? Call me Manfred. What did you do before the demon's mind controlled you? How much you have, Falcor? Whoa. Hey! I really love the color scheme in this game, it's very pretty. Right. Whoa! Pixel art on that thing is fucking awesome. You're hoping for the Western hero? No prophecies for you, Worm. Prepare to die. Man's best Fred. See, Barmathazel failed me once again. Curse is never ending and your time is up. Oh, it's amazing! You're the Western hero, right? Did I travel so far east that I made it back to my village from the west? Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's in the future. An important task for you, I think. Take this scroll, carry it across the world to the top of the highest mountain. Really, I'm 100% down to leave this outpost. A messenger is needed. Just take the scroll. I think he's got that same run animation, right? So your time as the messenger is up. A few moments to appreciate the reveal that it was all just a loop. No way, I still want to be part of the adventure. It's time. Time for what? For you to finally open the cabinet. Really? Just a closet of blue robes? Why yes, what did it look like? Just stand there, grab one your size. Oh, cool. Nice. I like giving it to the Contra guy, too. Get behind the counter. Delightful. Love the way he slowly walks in. Oh, the messenger. I wasn't expecting you so soon. What is this place? This is the shop. Doesn't look like a shop. I said the same. I mean, do I look like a shopkeeper? This is great. I love this. There's power that'll let you charge your beam. Oh, there's upgrades too? Sweet. Just jumping around. Thanks for the beam charger upgrade. You bet. It really looks. I feel like I should just be able to do that. That's why Ray Troyd invented it decades ago. Who's Ray Troyd? Just a follow-up to an earlier joke. I don't get it. Some will. Metroid. That would be pretty fun, Game Saucer. It's kind of boring, but I guess I'm okay. It's been a while since your messenger visited. Oh, I don't know, I didn't enter the shop so often myself. You're in the Tower of Time, remember? Try to maybe take you forward in time to the next important moment. The messenger enters the shop or dies. Did your messenger die? How would I know that? He's in the scrying orb. Orbital isn't set within 10 seconds, your messenger dies for good. What were you planning on mentioning that? Oh no! Oh no, 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 no! Need to fix this. Oh, is it we now? Now's not the time to argue. We have to look at this holistically. What does that even mean? I'm as lost as you are, and I'm so much you think I'm the smartest one here. Go fetch the scroll. do like this twist of passing it off to the conjure guy, and then you're the shopkeeper. Reached an agreement. You're the one that needs to finish this. Really? You weren't fit to be a shopkeeper anyway. Play the scroll here with your clothes. I thought they were really going to do this. Either have me play as a shopkeeper for the rest of the game or give me control of the contra dude. Touch this little shopkeepers away. This theme's pretty sweet. Ooh. Carrying the scroll for a long time already, it can be dangerous. It's exactly as was foretold in the visions. A born-again messenger will master time itself to end the curse by fighting in 2 cycles simultaneously. So I can swap between 8-bit and 16-bit, maybe? It's like, was it Sonic CD? Sonic Boom? What was the Sonic game for? It was either for 32X or Sega CD, where it had this, like, half-baked time travel mechanic. But it sounds like this one's actually going to do it well. So you want to carry the scroll again, I don't see another choice. You need to find the remaining music notes. Profit, right? Actually, Sonic CD was one of the few games I owned. I had Sewer Shark and Sonic CD for Sega CD, and the rest of my Sega CD games were ones I rented. And I actually did, my parents bought me the 32X for Christmas, and it got, like, canceled by Sega the following spring, so they couldn't even return it to Toys R Us. Careful, heathen, the mists of legend are very complex, and attempts to trivialize their meaning may cause whatever, I'll be in my shop. Profit will be your guide from now on. Good luck with that. What's up, dude? And so the messenger rises once more. Not sure what I should do next. The mists of time are intricate indeed, but fear not, the prophet is here to unravel their meaning. More like the interpret then, am I right? I will forgive this affront, for these are troubled times. Behold, messenger, as the Tower of Time's portal nexus activates to help you on your quests. Oh, cool. I'm here when you seek guidance, and I shall provide. Once the bird returns to the nest, it shall learn the power of true sight. Legend says it's the very relic maintaining the curse on humanity. That's a cool concept. I feel like, it seems like The Messenger is a solid game in its own right, and I haven't played Evoland, but that was Evoland's entire premise from the beginning, right? Activated, I would need a relic imbued with demon magic. Only missed the time you did the thing. May have missed some hidden things. Not right now. Maybe here. I really want an indie dev to make a spiritual sequel to Evo for the Super Nintendo, the Enix game, Evolution action RPG. And if I had the magical ability to will a game into existence, like Palpatine wills Star Destroyers, apparently, that would probably be the game I'd want to make. Make it as a Metroidvania. Hey, you worked. Yeah, pretty neat. I'm gonna get cryptic from now on with all this profit business. You'd probably want to make extensive use of your map. When we originally heard this song, it reminded me of MC Kids. Kidding me? I don't have a map. Let me get this straight. We gave you a scroll. The fate of the whole world seems to hinge on it. We gave you a hero title relating to it. You carried it for days across countless parallel situations, even through time itself, and you never bothered reading it? You're an animal. Turns out the scroll was a map. Nice. Cool. And it's like a Metroidvania style map. That's also kind of a neat twist. I like that. I mentioned before, but when Andrea and I were in Tokyo for her conference, I like looked up the Japanese title of Evo Search for Eden, which is like 10,000 years BC, something like that. Anyway, I put it on my Google Translate and I would show it to the shopkeepers in Akihabara to see if they had the game, and they just laughed at me. But apparently it's one of the very rare games in Japan even. Did not press a lot of copies of it. And stories to share. Once was a servant who didn't know how to read. The day came where his master asked him to read something for her, to which he replied, "I'm sorry, my lady, I can't read." The reply immediately got him fired. So he went in the streets looking for a tea house to relax and accept the bad news. He couldn't find any. He reckoned probably wasn't the only one to wish there was a tea house in a small town, so he opened up his own. They picked up, so he built more and became rich. This guy created Starbucks. His accountant asked him to review a piece of document, to which he replied he didn't know how to read. The accountant, who couldn't believe his ears, said, "If you became a millionaire without even knowing how to read, just imagine where you would be if you could read." I know exactly where I would be. I would be a servant. The end. I don't see how this applies to my adventure. It doesn't. You asked for a story. More like the long version of When Life Gives You Lemons. That's great. Ooh, new skills. I should have saved my money before. That's okay. That's a blue load of rooms on the area map where you can shift between the past and future time periods. Counter for the amount of power seals. These are all great, like, game-style transition power-ups. Sure, I can pierce 2 targets. Potion's now fully healed. Attack boost. I definitely want that one. What did the prophet say? Once the bird returns to the nest, it shall learn the power of true sight. The prophet gets sillier every day. Be happy to mess with him by helping you, but I need 300 time shards to operate the scrying word. Oh, okay, that's kind of neat. Yeah, I like how the game transitions from 8 to 16-bit and then transitions to becoming a Metroidvania partway through. Kind of. Just in the way you've got an open map to explore. Guessing not so much in terms of, like, progression upgrades. Let's see. Probably want to go back to the start from this timeline. Yeah, like most of the games that I associate as being super rare in the West are like ridiculously common in Japan. I think I got Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, Earthbound, or Mother 2, I should say, and a bunch of other games for like $6 a piece in Akihabara. The most expensive game I picked up was Super Metroid, which was like $20. But I guess Evo still goes for a few $100s. $6. I do like the effect when you're underwater. Forgot about that. It's cool. Are those giant crystals a one-time only thing? I should play Nick Kids on stream at some point. Can't believe that game is so good given that it was free in Happy Meals. But it has the death shadow on it. Don't think it's safe. Ah, cool. There's sections of the stage that are always 8-bit or 16-bit. I very much dig that. I think I like his 8-bit sprite better. I guess it's 8-bit but with an enhanced color palette, right? Oh, I see. Here I can freely swap. Oh, that's cool. Oh, nice. I guess there's still design space to give you the ability to swap at will, but making it bound to certain parts of the map can lead to some cool level design too. Neat. Yeah, I agree. Game Saucer. It's cool, so there's gonna be different shapes to the 8-bit, 16-bit portals. I like that they made the entire game in both 8 and 16-bit too. I was a little bummed that we weren't going to see like the Cloud Levels 8-bit version, but yeah, I guess knowing that how long to beat is kind of a spoiler. Sometimes that's the case in games, depends. Or sometimes it just generates confusion, like Baba is you. Interesting. That makes it. You can use this for a lot of things. Now it's a thing that I have to avoid. Yeah, I like that. Oh, right, because now I'm dropping down from the top. Smart. Yeah, there's definitely not enough power seals. I don't think it was like a fake out ending on the level of like Final Fantasy VI. Or that conceivably feels like it could be the end of the game. Oops. I think the inverted castle in Symphony of the Night works though because like it kind of changes the way that you traverse the game. They get to reuse a lot of assets, but they also give you a lot of new bosses. And there's things you can do in the inverted castle that only make sense because of all the progression upgrades you've gotten up to that point. I'm really digging some of these puzzles. I wouldn't mind someone doing the levels are inverted thing again, so long as they, like, did something cool with it. Alright. Reminds me of Mario RPG. Nice. You got the Key of Hope. Materialized from the repeating intentions of countless villagers wishing their messengers well over past cycles. It's one of the notes needed to create a melody that will break the curse. Don't think there's anything up there. MacGuffin done. Alright. I think if you want to make it an actual twist, though, you really have to commit to tricking the player. There's a game we played that had a fake-out ending. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think I realized it couldn't be over just because of the How Long to Beat, but it went the extra mile of, like, making it look like your encyclopedia entries were full. That sort of a thing. I'll look through the games list later and try to find out which one it was. I feel like you have to do that because most gamers are going to realize it only shows 30% completion on my save file and there's still like 80 entries in the bestiary. There's no way I'm close to being over. Oh, jukebox now. Oh yes, the jukebox. Back from my journeys through time back in the day. I'm not sure what it's for, but it sure looks pretty cool. What happened to the cabinet? I teleported it somewhere else since we didn't need it anymore. Something you may or may not find out later. Sweet. And does it just remember what I selected when I come back, I wonder? Oh, I don't want to do this too much because I don't want to have the 8-bit songs for other levels spoiled for me. Power sense. I do want all of these eventually. Let's see. Does this note just get added to the list here? There we go. I gotta go do the actual thing he sent me out to do. Find the pickups I can find as I explore. Save a beautifully habit. Only by creating a melody from the crystallized forces of this world can the curse be broken. With the melody, we still need 5 music notes, and you still want me to go do the bird nest, These portals are my only way to warp to specific areas on the map, right? Like, I thought I saw a world map option. But I have to walk there, right? But I can get back to the Temple of Time area easily whenever I get to a shop. So I should be careful with, like, warping back to the temple if I'm pretty far into an area. Let's go there real quick. Tap out the rest of this zone. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Walter. You have to go to that extra. You have to go that extra mile and fake that information as well. I feel like I played a game that did, but I can't remember what it was. So I'll look at the games database later. Yeah. I think it works in something like Symphony of the Night because, like, at the point where you get the inverted castle in Symphony of the Night, you've been playing a lot of game and you've got a lot of upgrades. But even Symphony of the Night, there's still plenty of missing options on the upgrade screen. And you can do that. You can have it go over 100%, which I think is how the map completion works in Symphony of the Night. But you'd have to fake the upgrade screen to completely not give away the ghosts. Basically, just go through the whole game with a fine-tooth comb and look for anything that a player might interpret as evidence that there's more game to be played. I guess even FF6 you can figure out from the Esper list. Blitzscreen. Oh, I see what you're saying. You can just be like, oh, there's just extra space in this list. Does the Esper list completely fill at the end of the game? I don't know if I've ever actually completely 100%ed Final Fantasy VI, like gotten Crusader. I don't think you can, right? Because there's certain choices that you make that preclude getting the other option. If you get the sword, you can't get the Esper. Back to the nest. Hey guys. Champion returns. How is adventure treating you? A bit harder than I thought, but the music is amazing. Should have taught you the power of true sight. Technique seldom taught to young students such as yourself. So I expand my mind. A warm cup of astral tea will do that. Ran out of astral leaves a few years ago. Okay, cool. It'll take centuries. Find a flower bed. Great. Odin was one of those things that I never knew about as a kid, and I think it was after I printed off a Game FAQs walkthrough. My poor friend's house, I used like 200 reams of paper or something. You're gonna get this secret Esper. I also don't think I ever did the world is square puzzle as a kid. Visible wall, got it. Yeah, exactly. It felt like it was the final dungeon. There's a couple games where having a fake-out ending is detrimental. I really like Okami, but that game is like the Return of the King. It keeps fucking fading to black and fading to white, and you're like, okay, good. I gotta pee. Fuck. There's more. I think knowing when to stop is really important. Most games are pretty good about it, I think. Movies sometimes struggle. Without spoiling the film, there's an obvious point in 10 Cloverfield Lane where the movie should have just ended. It's a hard cut to credits, and then it just keeps going, and you're like, damn it. Metal Gear Solid 5. Make up your mind. That would be fun, be like a meta thing. Four has that problem too, right? MGS4. I really like the theme in the temple. Maybe my favorite song in the game. What a beautiful sunset. Hungry botanists were too patient for their own good. Okay. Told by the mist, this portal should be open from the other side. So they alternated, so you have to go back through the zones. I like that. That looks like death. Shit, it was. But I think that there's a lot more metadata in a game, as Walter put it, than just like your completion percent or meter. Lots of clues, space in the skills list. Do the Sephiroth boss bar, which just stays purple for a while. Excuse me, thank you. This one has the Sega yell sound. Shows up so much in the Sonic 3 soundtrack. I love it. Tying an unmoving sliver before tying. It's if you hate your players, right? Well, I think the idea is you do tell the player when they have everything for real. Like, once the fake out occurs, then you give them true information. But before the fake out, you basically have to lie to them so you don't give up the ghosts. I'd rather they front load that, like the Kingdom Hearts boss, where the health bar is just purple for a while before you start to actually see it go down. I said rather they not do it at all, but what are you gonna do? We're gonna go left and get the warp that's back there. Oh, fuck that, Walter. Just don't even show a health bar in that case, right? Yeah, Upholstery Marshal. I think there should be a warp here too, so I'll try to pick that up. This isn't where I'm supposed to go for progression, but unlocking more warps is helpful. Oh, now I know what those pillar walls are. Gotcha. I really like the look of these mushroom enemies. Sprite art in this game is gorgeous. Both the 8-bit and 16-bit modes. Close to some spikes for a green coin. Nice. This is the game where I discovered speedrunning tech that ended up not being useful, but it's pretty funny. Completely accidentally. We played this pretty close to its release, I want to say. It was one of my highest viewed past broadcasts, which is pretty silly. I think fake outs in games are fun. If you do it responsibly, you don't want to get into a position where like players start to expect it. The one in Sekiro is like one of my favorite moments in all of gaming. Yeah, that one's pretty awesome too. They go all in on it with like, you know, UI elements. I like that they don't give you all the portals right away, that you make you explore through both sides to unlock them. It's quite cool. I guess the genocide boss of Undertale kind of has a reverse fake out. It makes you think there's going to be another attack. I keep wanting the map button to be back, apparently. Oh, is there something above me here? Maybe I drop down from somewhere else. Flame. think I fell for this in the original playthrough back on the 24-hour stream. Like, this looks like a Mario 2 secret. Yeah. And or Mario 3 secret. I have such fond memories of that. Still can't open it in the past. Oh, there's totally like a roof up there. I can touch their ceiling. There we go. Nice. Thank you, map. It's one you probably struggle to find without the map. Do you have an example, Game Saucer? I did that one. You could argue Outer Wilds does that a little bit. You only have so many buttons, and it's the same buttons of the whole game, and figuring out their use cases is part of the fun. There's probably one here, there's gotta be, right? I don't like you, game, you're mean. Give me my Mario sand trick. I guess you paper clips, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, thank God. Can't give me that sand and not have at least one secret that uses it. Just cruel. You got the magic seashell. Let's bear hear the call of the deep. Cookie clicker as well. Kind of game where you start playing it and you're like, why am I doing this? And as you play it more, you're like, oh, that's what's going on. It would affect my personal rating of this game, Chaos Factor. Since there's at least one, it's safe. I know there's another one here. No! Oh right, there's a shortcut up here. I think once the, well, Once the twist and cookie clicker happens, I think it kind of changes the way you play. Yeah, maybe. I wonder if they wrote the Genesis version first and then like demade it for Family Tracker, or the other way around. Both are cool. There's some pretty cool, like, people will go on YouTube and they'll do like classic SNES songs in the Genesis sound fonts. I still think Natural Killer Cyborg from Mother 3 sounds best in the original tinny GBA sound font. As you can see the stair, the handholds tell you that it's safe to go down there without dying. Got it. I guess I'd have to play more games to know what you mean, Game Saucer. Frog fractions, there you go. I really like the animation on breaking the giant crystals in 16-bit mode. Ow. This game is really good. In the case of Frog Fractions, I would say vector of play is like you transition between completely different stages of the game, completely different play styles, and once you progress from the part where you're clicking on frogs to the part where you are a fly, you never are clicking on frogs ever again. Just as an example. Yeah, I was thinking Nier Automata as well. Do you have any stories to share? Of course, here's one for you. There was a king who had a pretty rough time managing his emotions. Experiencing nothing but extremes, he would always feel either too excited or too depressed. Since he was about to lose all hope of getting his life together and be a viable ruler for his people, he was visited by a traveling relic hunter. To rid the king of his woes, the relic hunter gave him a magic ring, promising it would make him sad when he's happy and happy when he's sad. It worked like a literal charm. The kingdom became very prosperous. When the king passed away, the castle's wizard promptly grabbed the ring to finally try to understand the source of its power. The ring wasn't magic at all. How could a non-magic ring make you sad when you're happy and happy when you're sad? Any guess? Not really. It had a small inscription that read, "This too shall pass." Whoa. That's deep. Give you the cure for anxiety. Uh-huh. Sure. It says I need both of these, it looks like. So I need 2,350. I would say it does serve. I like that we're, like, arguing about narrowly defining a hypothetical genre. It's a neat concept, though. Oh, that sounds cool, Force Fates. I haven't heard of it. You know what it's called? Force. I've been enamored with this idea lately that there are ideas that are perfectly fine in fiction, but which might never work as a game mechanic, or never be fun as a game mechanic, even if people try to make it work. So, like, wondering what are the combinations of genres that are actually interesting and which ones are dumb. Which ones actually interact with each other and which ones are just like, switching between modes of play, like frog fractions. Super Mash. Oh, Super Mash, gotcha, thank you. Thought it was just a coincidence. I really need to get back to the jungle area. I think I can do that. I'm back to where I started from the portal. Let's try going straight up this time. That's cool, but it does it through mini-games, basically. So maybe like a WarioWare thing, but maybe they come up with something... Oh shit, I thought that was a new area. My bad. Don't fall off the edge of the stage this time. It's got Death Fog, right? Really? Maybe only in the other timeline? Come on. Yeah, Golf Story. That game's really cool. I hope Sports Story is good. I feel like there's a lot more they can do with that basic premise. Oh, well, in that case, I would say Nier Automata definitely qualifies. Or if it doesn't qualify, then you've got an interesting challenge to the definition, right? Golf Story was another one we did during the 24-hour indie stream when we first played Messenger. Now this wall's open, very good. I'm gonna regret not getting the information power-ups pains me to go for information power-ups though now, and I can go for a thing that makes me do more damage. It probably like almost never matters. It's part of the problem. For my world exploration, doing an extra 1 point of damage, most enemies seem to die in one hit. It's only gonna matter for bosses. I'm mentally ill. I know I'm ill. I know it's not correct. Well. I think I made it across there without going through that last time. I think I did. Okay, we want to go down and left. What? Neglecting defensive and informational upgrades at all costs? My understanding is that, like, never buying health upgrades in a game like Dark Souls 2, I'm a crazy person. Most people don't do that. There you go, Q-Saucer. Oh, Walter, I feel so much better. I felt like an alien playing Nier Automata. I guess it's part of it, it's like, people are only going to tune in if they already like the game, so they don't get spoiled on it, right? So, I'm playing this game, I just don't get it, and I'm feeling exactly the way you just described. It's worth beating it. I can't tell you why, but it's worth beating it. Once I beat it, I was like, oh... Alright, now I like this a lot, and I'm sorry for being such a whiny butt about it the whole time. But I hated that game up until like the last couple hours, and I was like, alright. See what you did there. I think there's a movie that's been like that, where I hated the movie until the very end, and then I was like, you know what? This movie's actually good now. It's been contextualized by the ending. That's fair. Watch a playthrough on 2.5x speed or something then. Yeah, but I also hate the combat in Nier Automata. It feels like borderline Dynasty Warriors, except with like XP and levels being a huge deal, so if you don't grind or quest, you can't kill anything in a timely manner. The end was worth it though. Read the Wikipedia summary, I might give it to you. I've never played Astral Chain before. Now, what kind of game is it, of course? Almost. Yeah, so part of my issue, Forrest, was that I have a Platinum Games prejudice. I think something like Bayonetta works because it's just so over the top that you can just kind of laugh at how ridiculous everything is constantly. It is a very similar core loop. I think it was frustrating to me that Nier Automata appears to have all these systems built into it, like XP, that don't matter. XP and equipment, and it's like, just mash the attack button and the bullet button, it's fine. I think false depth like that gets on my nerves more than it probably should. Like, I could just pretend like it's not in the game, but it being in the game bugs me. It is like Bayonetta. Gotcha. I see. Spectacle brawler. Was a term. Probably have to come back here in 8-bit world. I definitely wish a game like Nier Automata had a completely different core gameplay loop. The same basic story notes and progression to the game, but not whatever its combat is. Having trouble under... Oh wait, no, you got this one. Time shards still... Chats. Stories to share. Now is not the time. You're in Bamboo Creek. This is as sunny as it gets in this cursed world. Take the opportunity to play outside. Bye now. Nice. Hey, Burner. Hey, Medusa heads. I really want to do a video on degeneracy in game design. The notion that, like, in a side-scrolling game, there are only so many, like, patterns that enemies can possibly have, and they reduce to... Like, you know, the Medusa head is a sine wave. Enemy that moves in sine wave and primarily harms you via contact damage. And then there are ways you can combine your degenerate elements or rudiments, like, here's a Medusa head that shoots fireballs. Here's a Medusa head that shoots fireballs in a sine wave pattern. Guy that tosses Castlevania axes, a horizontal projectile, exactly, yeah. I love to think about it and try to, like, break that stuff down. What is the most reducible form of each of these things? Very good, Burner. This game's soundtrack is really awesome. I already got that coin, I don't need to do it again. It's interesting to imagine, like, can you discover all of the rudiments of at least 2D game design, and then say every other design element is a reducible form of these, like you can with, like, drum rudiments and drum theory. Fuck curvy lasers. You could probably do it in each like genre. We've talked about the butt stomp, right, as a 3D boss attack. Butt stomp with shockwaves. Enemies that do contact damage are just projectiles, but projectiles are also a thing. Like, so these dudes are basically zombies from Castlevania 1, right? And just walk slowly forward. I think that's where you start mixing some things in there, like speed. You could make probably 100 different enemies that are basically a Castlevania zombie, and just the only thing you change is speed. So I need to find the portal out of here. Maybe it's in the town? Oops. That's fine. I love that hay. Does this thing fall back down as I'm raising it? Hey, thank you, conveyance handholds. Ah, I see. Some of my favorite melodies in this game so far, I think. Oh. No! Kunai bullets with deceptively large hitboxes. Whoa! I don't think that was supposed to happen. I think I clipped into the screen above this one. Oh yeah, Walter, I thought they got added onto the screen, like the time portals. Low record pace. Yeah, I guess I assumed it was like the little time portals that they just added them onto the screen, so it could have been somewhere you visited already. Go for it, Burner. Been this way, I guess I'll go this way since there's some doors I haven't been through. Do all the things I do and none of the ones I don't. Jesus. Would be like fucking Rocky Horror, but for video games. A toast. Right. You gotta get that A-Press guy to do something like that. Oh god. Probably a lot harder if you don't use a shuriken. I think I like this game enough. I'm going to want to get all those green tokens, especially since there's a power-up that shows you where they are, or how many are in each area. Games that help you be a completionist, I really like. When it's like, oh, it's just walkthrough beta, I have to look up a map and find everything, I'm less interested. But when it's like, in the end game, you can spend some resources to get some clues as to which areas aren't done. I think that's the bigger thing for me. It's not so much knowing where to look, it's knowing which areas I'm done with, right? Get stressed out like re-exploring areas I've been to a million times that I'm completely tapped out. Maybe it's in the forest area. Of course. Thought I was gonna make it. Maybe if I had grappled. If we're talking about something that might be a new concept, but if the idea is part of exploring, understanding and enjoying the game is, well, let me think about it. Maybe it's like being given a tool and not knowing all of its purposes right when you get it. I think it's different from a Metroidvania, which surprises you by giving you new tools most of the time. So like taking pictures in Outer Wilds. Right. Come back here in 8-bit maybe? So maybe games where the core gameplay loop is not revealed at the beginning of the game. There was a portal down this way, right? Should get that information upgrade. There it is. I love the really fast arpeggio they're doing for the chords in this song in the Family Tracker version. It sounds really good. Me too, Walter. That's another part to talk about degeneracy in game design. That like it feels like there's only so many upgrades you can do into Metroidvania. Occasionally you play one that has like what feels like a new idea. Like, okay, here's the double jump, here's the thing that lets me run really fast. Here's the set of things that are all basically a key. Don't have any other mechanic. No, actually, and I haven't beaten Dead Cells yet, Force. That was one of my favorite games that I played on stream. We played it because it was on folks' sub-block. Subscribers can put games on the schedule for me to play for a little bit of time. It's one that I really wanted to play really bad. It's way up my alley. What did they add in the DLC? New levels and stuff? I'll go ahead and get this, it's fine, to overcome my goofiness. I might have to go forward from the first area. Yeah, I agree the visors are interesting. Okay, that shows me what the warps look like. If anyone wants to put Dead Cells on the voting spreadsheet, I will throw all of my tags on it once Horizon Zero Dawn wins the vote. Ah. Awesome. I think Dead Cells is one of my favorite roguelites that I've played. Just speaks to me in a lot of ways. I really like the way the level design is handled too. It feels a lot more authored than a lot of roguelites. I feel like I don't use the grappling hook enough in this game. I assume that's something speedrunners use a lot of. But I keep thinking it's going to get me hurt. I agree. The core loop is insanely fun. Your issue with it is that it's a roguelite, right, Walter? So you can't attribute success or failure to your own skill, but to whether or not you got the right upgrades or not. The RNG element's frustrating to you. I feel like they could probably add a mode to that game where it gives you a preset, like, loadout. Force. So the way the voting system works is whenever a game wins the vote, an auction is opened up for the slot, and you can bid on the auction using SP. If you type ~SP, you can see how many points you have right now. You're getting them by watching. So if you win that auction, you can throw it on. When it wins the vote, we'll play it. Like just the specifics of the mechanical interactions of the game are... Yeah, and that's stuff that's like, it feels really right, but it's kind of hard to notice. There's a problem with game design, that good game design almost is invisible a lot of the time. Oh, this game just feels really good. There's actually an interesting point in Game Maker's Toolkit where he says that a problem with a lot of roguelites is that they have an upside-down difficulty curve. The game just gets easier and easier and easier as you unlock more upgrades. But I like that they're still technically beatable with no upgrades. Now, there is a sub-tier that gets you a permanent slot on the voting streak, but it's pretty expensive. I would throw that out in my first description. Hey, it's you again. Thanks for saving me. And for my colleagues Acro, Claustro, and Pyro. Bridge be repaired in 10,000 years. Nice. How do I get on top here, I wonder? That's how. The last few auctions have gone at pretty high prices, but historically they've gone for like 1,000 to 2,500 or so. Whoops. Oh, okay, don't die. Huh. Did I kill myself so that I backtrack, or does this portal let me do that? It does not. Okay, cool. Needs his buddies to repair the bridge, doesn't he? Okay. Anyway, if you're interested, Fade, if you head over to faq.marstead.com, there's some detail on how it works. Force feeds. Alright, so I don't think I can do anything here now. I don't think there's a warp in Bamboo Town. I think I do want to do the prophecies roughly in order. Right. Maybe that's not Bamboo Creek. It looks like it would be a Forlorn Temple, but I can't get in there yet. Okay. Let me just try going through all the portals and explore what I can. It does, Walter. They take up like no time on the schedule. Has to be 10 hours remaining to be played, though. The SP doesn't have to be under 10. Hey, you're Marstead staff. Oh, you took your sweet time, didn't you? 500 years? You have any idea how cold it is up here? They need you here. The messenger will need you in the future, he said. 15 minutes in, I was already cold and bored. Kinda helpless. How are you supposed to help me? I'm not interested in wielding a necromancer weapon. Ruxin got obsessed with the Blue Robe's history. Something about how a tower you used to get to the clouds wouldn't be here anymore. Beam you up and down as you please. The cloud ruins? That's sure to come in handy. Can we go now? Only you can activate my magic. I need Ruxin's amulet. Still working on it. Hey, thanks for States. Welcome. It is good to have you.
You're super awesome. Thanks. Appreciate that.
So I need to get my wife to record either an ultra high energy or a satirical ultra low energy sub-pipe dance or something. Get a bunch of like streamers and poppers and stuff to play. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, let us know if you get any questions. I got kind of a complicated setup here. There's a lot of shit going on. Just voting systems and sub-blocks and all sorts of stuff. If you want, shoot me a Twitch Whisper or a Discord DM with the game you'd like to see me play. If it's Dead Cells, that's cool. I'll get it scheduled probably next week. Ow. Should be, yeah. So you probably want to go faq.marstead.com and then click the link at the top that says Advanced FAQ. That answers all your questions. Or it should. If it doesn't, let me know and I'll add it to it. What's the nice word for shit's complicated when talking about systems? It's crunchy. It's crunchy. Only the frequently asked ones. Oh, that is a wall. Color is very similar. Whoops. So I know that, like, I get a jump when I bounce off of these, in addition to it launching me in the air, but it's really hard for me to remember that I can also jump. This is bad. Just barely missed. At least touching the spikes and then damage boosting my way across. Womp 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 womp. Yeah, thanks, Walter. So I don't think I can bounce on the icicles. Oh no, I can. Basically, the rule is if you can destroy it, it lets you bounce again, jump again. You hit it with your sword at all. I'm just gonna give up on the damage thing. The knowledge would be more useful at this point. Okay, so there's the number remaining. I'll eventually actually mark the locations if I get the last upgrade. Yep. This one I think I like the Bambi Tracker version better. Oh. Doing alright, Mega? There's some pretty cool parts to the Genesis track. Take it back. They're both good. Manfred, what happened? It's a long and embarrassing story. Elemental Skylands are in danger. I need your help. Regulate the climate. Take care of it soon. You'll find the demon curse be the least of your concerns. Those things are still frozen, which is a bummer. Yeah, I really wonder which ones were written first, Spiky. That's awesome, Chaos. So how much RuneScape are you playing? I hope she's doing alright, Megan. Oh, nice, Burger. No issue with your sub-block tomorrow, then? Sucks that the timing changed, but at least I've got a permanent contact at Comcast now. Ooh, this is a thing. So it's going down. Hooray! I love that these all have return shortcuts. I feel like the return shortcut is one of those like modern game design features that is almost always correct to include if you can. I can think of some edge cases where you want to make the player go back through the challenge after they complete it, but even though I give Skyrim shit all the time, like it does a really good job of designing the dungeons so that there's always a shortcut exit at the end. Sounds good, big man. Yeah, Ravenon, are you still good for tomorrow as well? Anyone else that wants to play EDF? I don't remember how many can connect in one game. It is a silly game. Four? Okay, we might be saturated then. Rude. Totally rude. I do love the jammin' golems. Looks like they're having a great time. How much do I need for the last info? Oh, I can get it now. Okay, sweet. Now I don't have to feel bad. That was crazy. Cool, sounds good. Thanks, Robin. Okay, I kind of already know what they want me to do here, and I'm not looking forward to it. Gee, that isn't so bad. Cheese. Very nice of them to not make those instant death spikes. They could have. Thank you, Conveyance Coins, for telling me it was safe to fall there. It was very kind of you. How did shurikens work in the original Ninja Gaiden? I never really played past the first level of that. I think I rented it one time as a kid and I was like, this is too hard. I've seen the Bit Brigade do it in concert several times. It's a pretty awesome run. Quite nice. Castlevania Hearts, I see. I think if you're not gonna do a regenerating resource, then this is the next best thing, in my opinion, having a limited number of slots, a very limited number of slots, and then restock you at points where the dev can expect you to need shurikens again.
Conveyance means show, don't tell.
It do. I think there was a warp in Syrian Crags, or that may have been the Underworld. Oh yeah, this place. And now they're long dead, and I remember this. I seem to remember getting Belmonted a lot in Ninja Gaiden. Which was first, Castlevania or Ninja Gaiden? What's up? Oh, I didn't see I could, thanks. I prevent two dumb brothers from waiting to death. Oh, can I plant the other thing here? Okay, so I gotta come back during pastimes. Hayabusa. Yeah, I feel like Ninja Gaiden's jump mechanics are almost more punishing than Castlevania. Even though it happens a lot in Castlevania. I guess I like calling it getting Belmonted because, like, none of the Belmonts have good maneuverability. Not in the main side-scrolling games, anyway. It's actually, like, kind of comical how terrible they are at moving around. You get that really deliberate walk animation. Deliberate, slow walk, horrible jump that you completely commit to. Even though that's more realistic, right? Just doesn't feel good. Actually, I'm not sure. This game, you can change your trajectory a little bit once you jump. Yeah. I don't remember if Ninja Gaiden lets you change that or not. This is going to take me a while to get right, I think, unfortunately. Maybe I have to, like, don't think just go rush through it. I don't think they want me to float across this here. Hold on. No, that doesn't work, though. Thought maybe I could just grapple all the way across. That makes more sense. Should be a warp in this room, right? There it is. Grapple won't pull you towards projectile though, right? Only towards an enemy. I can try to test it here. Yeah, it just destroys them. That's what I thought was gonna happen. We'll grab you to double jump lanterns. See what else it'll let you get to. It's a good question. Excuse me, what's up, little guy? Can I use a corner of your flower bed? Oh, I have a seed to plant. Let's see why not. Be our guest, little guy. Love these two guys. Hey, it's little guy again. What is up? I have your power thistle. Huh? He's not kidding. So I see. This guy's animations are too good. Yeah, I'm pretty bad at using the grapple. It's not a thing that I feel like I trust. I understand how it works, but I don't trust myself to execute it. Sprite art's awesome. Don't move, little guy. Thanks for everything, little guy. I actually needed to still do something back where they knocked me away from. That's okay. Yeah, I imagine once you get good at it, it feels awesome. Let's see, what can I not do while grappling? Looks like I can cancel a grapple into a glide, right? I can't swing the sword while it's out. But it's not that long of a delay. Yeah, I struggle with getting that to feel fluid. I understand how you're supposed to do it, but moving in and out of glide in midair in order to do different strikes is difficult for my brain to just quickly into it. Hey, there's a note. Wonderful. This theme really reminds me of Mario RPG. Key of Strength. Fortune to being by Kolos and Sousa's physical feats. Colossus's physical feats. One of the notes needed to create a melody that will break the curse. I think I started back up in the northeast corner, so I'm going to go back over there first. I'm sure I transitioned time on the way there. Now wake the windfish. Reverse the curse. I love the idea of collecting parts of a melody. It's such a common gaming trope. If you gotta collect the things, making it a melody is pretty fun. Really liked Chrono Cross's implementation of it. Rip that off for a D&D puzzle. Only works if your players haven't played Chrono Cross though and don't know that melody. Mother and Earthbound. You just kind of sort of did it in Outer Wilds. Need to activate that. No! I think I want to go up this way. Let's do it this way. It looks like hitting a projectile out of the air with a grappling hook does give you a double jump back. That's an interesting point, Walter. Back to the Ninja Elder. Still have more to do here, but I guess I can't warp here yet. Let me finish exploring this area. My informal rule is that it's okay to talk spoilers about any game that we've already played on stream while playing a different game within reason. I think I've definitely beaten more games on stream now than I did before I started streaming. The number of games I've at least played or tried out is reasonably high, but... Oh, here's the warp door. Perfect. Alright, well now I can go back and get the power of true sight, whatever that is. I just want to hear this song over and over. It's my favorite song in the game. Actually, the opening track on the newest Muse album kind of sounds like that. Algorithms. It's my favorite track on the album, which just made me sad. The album's still pretty good, but it's like, it was all downhill from there. Ouch. See if I can estimate how many hours I spent playing non-MMO video games before I started streaming. Probably less than 4 hours a day. I also replayed a lot of games because I was poor as a kid. It was much cheaper to play Final Fantasy VI 20 times than it was to buy another game. Power up on out here. Okay, it's not this room. Yeah. When is the remake? It's not even the whole remake, right? It's just Midgar, my understanding. Oh, we got a date for it recently or something. Okay, so how do I get through here so that I can any other time? It was higher before Twitch was a thing. Shh, don't say that out loud. That's the secret fear that every dev has when it comes to allowing their content to get streamed without any copyright claims. I don't know, I feel like the sort of people that, like the sort of games that you would prefer to watch someone play rather than beat yourself are the ones you probably wouldn't have bought in the first place. Maybe, I don't know. Or I'm guessing it works out so that net for most people, you might buy more games from seeing someone play them. The ones that you actually like a lot. It was a poverty thing for me. Also, it was, you know, there wasn't anywhere near the selection. I basically was born at the dawn of home console gaming with the Atari, and like progressed through every step along the way. So seeing that library just get insanely huge to the point where it's no longer tenable to play every awesome game has been interesting. Yeah, right. Oh, that's cool, Spiky. Do you remember roughly how many are on the list? For Crosscode was one, right? Nice. No, I feel like the community almost works in that respect alone. It's just that there's all these people recommending different sublog games, even if I only play them for an hour. It's like, oh, that's not a game I would have seen otherwise. awesome game recommendation network. Get my rebranding in like NFML people. Yo! Seem to have mastered time itself. To taste astral tea once again. Thank you and farewell, brave messenger. I'm supposed to use the tea to expand my mind. He's just gonna die now? Here's a candle for you. It's an ordinary wax candle. If you ever enter a very dark place, it should help you see at least a little bit. Hear the call of deep. Making sure there's nothing on here that's surprising to me. I do like the air recovery jump, that feels really good. Ooh, there's a secret here? Maybe it's only accessible in the other time stream. League of Legends. Must be in the other time frame, let's go. Yeah, it's a lot. Knock yourself out. If you join our Discord force, everyone's very helpful. Just pop your questions in general, and people will be more than happy to help you out. Thank you for being invested enough to read all that shit. Get shit played though. Also, let me know if you think of a subblock game. If you want it to be Dead Cells, even if we just play it for an hour, that will further discount its cost once it eventually makes it on the voting spreadsheet. My last run of Dead Cells went pretty well, but not well enough. I can just change time. Let me do it in the town. Confuse myself, sorry. This is like Dwarf Fortress, the stream. It's very high learning curve. Yeah, so there's a couple games that have questionable beat conditions. It doesn't have to be how long to beat necessarily, if we can come up with some metric that seems reasonable. I think that there's a finite number of bosses in Dead Cells, right? Like, you can get to the last boss of a run. Feature creep. So maybe I get better jump later on or something. Saving the dog is the win condition. Well, because you know it'll never happen. Okay, maybe I'll try coming back here later. Yeah, I guess there's a problem of like beating the game and beating the final boss and then having a ton of time remaining. You could also do like play it for a certain number of hours and then the goal is to beat that boss as well, but then like keep playing it for fun to unlock stuff. Just so I don't like get a lucky run and beat it in 2 hours and be like, well shit, there goes all my SP. Just seeing if this lets me get up top somehow and I didn't realize it last time I was here. I think the answer is no. Well, maybe, actually. I didn't see that when I was there last time. Hey! I like that there's secrets in this game that are You probably won't even look for them unless if you have the map. But you could conceivably see that if you just came here on your own. League of Legends, I'm really shocked at how popular MOBAs are. Not because I dislike them, but because it seems like there's this enormous barrier to entry. Like as far as a game being easy to watch when you don't know what's going on, like you think like a fighting game would be pretty good. Or it's like, okay, there's two health bars. Whenever they touch each other, the health bars go down. Like, okay, I get it. But even just following the commentary in a MOBA is pretty challenging if you've never played one before, or in some cases even played that specific MOBA. Well, we're currently in 16-bit Genesis soundtrack Ninja Gaiden. How you doing, Dan? Hey, thank you. Appreciate that. To your bonus sub-block hours for your anniversary.
You're super awesome. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Okay, I think I'm done with this area. To the moon is what you're looking for? Okay, cool. I'll hook you up. Got another note to put in. As fate would beautifully have it, only by creating a melody from the crystallized forces of this world can the curse be broken. So no need for music notes. The dead low of a foe turned friend left an important item. Let me go back to the red area since I just unlocked this word. It is significantly more friendly to the player. This game's a lot like Celeste, if you've played that. I gotta come here. Well, this is another way to cross that wall, isn't it? And then it has optional strawberry-like challenges that are quite a bit more difficult than the base game, but the base game is extremely accessible. I don't think I can do this with my current loadout, actually. Yeah, that happens. The windy level of Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden was a game I rented one time and I was like, this game is impossible. Ninja Gaiden wasn't made by the same devs that did Double Dragon, did they? For some reason I always associate the Ninja Gaiden bosses, they remind me of the Double Dragon bosses. The rest of the gameplay is not similar at all. The track was actually fun. Ooh, new area. Well, we've been to this map before, but not this part of it. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden is one of those games where if you're good at it, it feels awesome. From watching Bit Brigade do it several times at PAX. If you've never seen Bit Brigade, you should look them up. They're a band, their front man is a speedrunner, and he sits on a little couch they put on the stage. Everybody else has instruments, and then he speedruns the game and they play the song along him, and it's freaking awesome to watch. They got it down to a science. Guess I haven't gotten to the red area from this side yet. Yeah, this has the Ninja Gaiden cutscenes too, which is pretty cool. Another game that did those cutscenes was Little Ninja Brothers. I don't know if anyone ever played that game. That was one of those cartridges that I happened to own. My mom got it at like a thrift store for a couple bucks. That and Mendel's Palace. Two weird NES games that no one's ever heard of. Ooh, I almost got crushed. That was bad. I actually did have Nick Kids. There's a song in this game that sounds like it's right out of Nick Kids. We were just talking about it earlier. Not this one. Aww. That's mean. Wow, that set me back just a bit. Surprisingly, because it was free in Happy Meals. Like, why did they put so much effort into it? They didn't have to. It's maybe comparable. The save points are pretty... They're very reasonably dispersed for the most part. And then you have this thing where you transition between 8-bit and 16-bit graphics, which also changes the level design a bit. The general design of this game is much more forgiving than the general design of Celeste level. This game is way more forgiving than actual Ninja Gaiden 2. More lives. Yeah, because they made the death penalty so mild, they were able to make things really, really challenging. You'd restart it instantly and try again. But the typical screen in this game isn't difficult, and if you do get to one of the optional difficult, like, equivalent of strawberry puzzles in Celeste, there's a save point right outside it. I don't think I want to kill that guy. Let's try this here. I guess I can use those fireballs. Well, that's gnarly. So have these time fairies been here since the beginning of the game, doing that same thing, or only after you trigger this part? Hitting something in the air recharges jump. Oh shit, okay. Try again. Okay, it's not a grapple screen, got it. Thank you, friendly exit. So nice of you. Not very good at taking advantage of the time fairies. Oh, well, I think I kept the thing, though, didn't I? Let's see. I did! Hey, death interesting. Oh, does that make them bigger? I did not remember that, thank you. I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. That was like... I think it was a year ago was the last time I had to hit the time fairies. Yeah, but now I owe that demon guy money for reviving me. Oh, he already got his debt, okay. I love that so much more than taking your existing coins away. It's much more interesting. Oh, are they a new mechanic? Oh, I don't think I've ever hit them before then. Hey, what's up? She's everything new for me. Okay. Try getting that green token. I don't really need that for progression, but... Don't remember hitting it at all. Maybe the other ones were set up in such a way that it was like, it looked like you had to hit them, or you hit them automatically when you were like grappling past something else. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Chaos. It wasn't even thinking like, oh, when I hit these things, this thing happens. I guess it wasn't like an underscored mechanic in the way that the demons were earlier. Oh, fuck this. I guess I could have been more patient there. I thought I just had to, don't think, just go it. Good enough. How much of the speedrun involves damage boosting? I feel like you can make a hard mode where puzzles like that just have insta kills. Not much. It's often faster to just like do it the intended way. Can I even get down to the underworld from Searing Crags? I don't think so. It's gotta be Cloud Ruins, isn't it? Oh no. Heretofore undiscovered zone transition. Really re-explored Howling Grotto much. I have to go back to a friend, so I assume it's talking about the undead staff guy that needs the amulet. Enemy who became a friend. Oh, new stories. Story I once told the guy who hooked me up with music for my shop. There's once a village struggling to figure out who the werewolf was. People kept dying every full moon, and very gorily at that. One day a brave young couple decided to venture into the woods. He would be the hunter and she the bait. One would expect from such a cliched setting, they got separated and their hunter faced off alone against the east near a cliff. After 15 minutes of a literal uphill battle, Hunter managed to chop off the werewolf's paw with his axe. Hunter ran for his life, severed process of clutching to his throat. Time he got home, the sun was up and he found his fiancée bleeding and badly wounded. Pawn sort of reverted to its human form, and at that moment he noticed it was wearing a ring he had purchased a few days ago. Whoa, that was spooky. Still looking for a title. What about The Werewolf Bride? Wow, great idea. Really? No, not really. You put the reveal in the title. Love it. We watched the first episode of the Netflix Witcher. I liked it. It seemed pretty good. Andrew and I have to get around to watching the rest of it. Henry Cavill seems to really enjoy the role. I think it would be the catacombs where the dead live. I found a way to get in there from Bamboo Creek, right? Yeah, my understanding is that the books that the author was never really into like following maps or anything like that. He just kind of did like abstract locations. The show kind of mirrors that problem. Shit, I want that dead alive. No problem. They're all like short stories, I see. I guess mild Witcher spoilers that are mild enough that I know about them without having watched the show. But I guess it's not completely chronological, and it's not super clear when those time shifts are happening if you're new to the show or the story. It might be as a general audience thing that if it doesn't like literally say on the screen previously or something, that everyone like shits their pants and doesn't know what to do. I see. Oh, really, Chaos? That's unfortunate. I think I saw that in like a non-spoiler review. I was just like, just so you know, the story doesn't progress in chronological order, so be prepared for that. I see what you're saying. I do like oh shit moments in movies and TV. It's fun. Okay, so I have to come here from a different time stream, which I think I can do in the area below here. Once we finish it, yeah. It's pretty high on the list. Andrew's been watching Workin' Moms, which is a Canadian show from the actress who played... Oh, this is cool. What's this? Actress who played, what's her name on Always Sunny? Dennis's wife, ex-wife? Maureen Ponderosa. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, Chaos. Great show, though. I was able to do that because of my little seashell upgrade. I see. Well, I had more things to do the other direction, but I may as well check this out for now. Book door. I guess now I can go back. So I've got another objective in the other direction. Just an audio cue before? Oh, that's unfortunate. I guess maybe they could put one on the very first screen? Oh, well, no, it's an accessibility thing, isn't it? That if you're deaf or hard of hearing, you can't solve it. I guess they could make it an option, but... yeah. I was talking about Game Maker Toolkit videos, but he did one on accessibility options and mentioned... I didn't think about this when I played it, but the Resident Evil 2 remake is basically unplayable in the second half if you're deaf or hard of hearing, because the only way to know if Mr. X is coming for you is by sound. I actually forgot about having that upgrade until I got there. I like that they kept the sound element, though. Yeah, I think my thought is accessibility options should be accessibility options. Like, if you want to have a puzzle that's color-based, and I guess there's not really a way to do a color puzzle that you can't also communicate with, like, shape or something else. Like, I guess you can ruin the puzzle in that case in a way that you don't ruin it with color. I don't know. Oh, you think so? Do you think Witcher 1 will win first? I guess it's shorter. I think they made the color dungeon in Link's Awakening better for colorblind people. They like changed all the shapes of monsters and stuff, right? Yeah, that's what I mean. If it's an option, I think that's totally fine. They would definitely spoil some puzzles in, like, The Witness. Oh shit. If there was a visual indicator for that puzzle, or those puzzles, it would not be anywhere near as interesting, I think. Wait, I'm confused. Lost Woods, not Green of Time, yeah. Basically, if you die in a stupid place in this game, it takes a while to get back. If If you die where they think you're gonna die, they typically put a save right behind it. Yeah, right, Walter. Oh, that's right, there's a pit down there. Literally where I just died. Whoops.
That's a bummer. Bum. Bum.
Alright, third time's a charm. Oh, it makes it so you always guess wrong. It's like Ed Wood, right? Which of these dress do you prefer? The red one or the green one? I don't know, I'm colorblind. I guess I prefer the dark gray one. Yeah, that's interesting. Are those insta-death spikes? Okay. Or did I get crushed, maybe? I think it's just this place. Because of the waterfall. It's like really quiet here. I like how you can see them through the portal. It's cool. I do like that it starts out quiet as a screen transition instead of just coming on at full volume when you leave the waterfall screen. Good choice, I think. Shortcut, presumably? Yeah, let's take it. Something about that fast arpeggio chord sounds really cool in the Femi-Tracker version. Hey, it's a buddy. I got you, friend. Claustro? Hey, that's such a cool sword. How'd you end up trapped in here? The irony, right? It's an embarrassing tale. I think get back to my workstation. No problem, dude. Looks like you had the power to get out on your own, but I got you. I really like the 8-bit animations in this for the character, I think. The hat in 16-bit is kind of cool with the little cape, but just needed encouragement. You can do it, friend. I guess you could go there the first time you approach this area. Well, no, because there weren't any time warps, so it wouldn't have worked. That's right. Catacombs is the southwest corner. Teleportation and a healthy worth it. Oh wow, I've completely lost track of time. I'm like, there's like, multiple hours left in the episode, right? Oh. There is 20 minutes left-ish. It's usually a good sign. Such a weird idea that like your perception of time changes depending on what you're currently doing. To ask Propagable if there's any data explaining why that is. This might be a one-way thing. I might not be able to get back there. It's a bummer. Go to the catacombs through other means. So I can't drop to the floor here. What game are we playing where the map didn't show blocks like that? Some older Metroidvanias that have that problem. Oh wait, no, never mind. Not this game, apparently. This game is not actually blocked. It just looked like it was. I think Metroid Prime 2 has that problem where they're like, there's a lot of things that can block your progress that aren't colored missile doors, but they're not marked in any way. So if you don't remember where you've been, it's really easy to go back to the same area of the map a million times, which I totally did in that game. Maybe. I'd have to think. Hollow Knight's map doesn't tell you what's blocking you from progressing in an area. I like the idea of games that like give you a notepad or something like that, where you can like write on the map. Oh, that was in Crosscode, and I basically never used it, so I don't know what I'm talking about. X-Converge. Yeah, they're like particularly incompatible with this whole play a game a maximum of one time per week stream formula thing. Lana 2 by taking lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of notes. I screenshot every single tablet in the game and most relevant rooms. It's interesting because like Etrian Odyssey feels like a game where it's not really necessary and you can survive without it. It would be great for something like Lana. Which I wholeheartedly recommend to anyone who hasn't played it before. Although I could be convinced that Lana is not for everybody. Very much for me, though. If they make a third one, I will jump on that shit instantly. Aren't they releasing like a Lana 1 and 2 collection for Switch or something? I should buy that just to give the devs money. In Crosscode, what did I mention it for? Oh, you can put icons on the map. And I never used it. I was too lazy to use it, even though it would have been super helpful. I guess Like, if the player would only ever reasonably write one thing on the map, it probably makes more sense to just do it for them. It's my buddy. Ruxton's final resting place. Dear Messenger, if you're reading this, it means that my research indicator is true and you traveled 500 years into the future. Then when I said I was done being evil, I even planned for my relics to come to your aid. Amulet, I know where to take that. Staff, I know where to get that. Secret entrance to a new area. It was very dark. Oh, I do have the candle. Room with 2 bats and a moving platform. Nice. Tiny coffin inside the huge coffin. Yeah, it's pretty great. Yeah, it was a great system. Like, I wish more games would let you write on the map. I was just bad about using it in Crosscode. Crosscode didn't do anything wrong there. Yeah. I think that my aggressive note-taking in La Milana saved me a shitload of time, too. I basically, every time I got to a tablet, I met one of the devs at PAX, like, I think the game came out in like July or something of 2017, and I went to PAX in that August. So I had beaten the game, or was really close to beating the game, and the dude was just like blown away. He's like, "You mean La Milana 1, right?" I'm like, "No, 2. I've been playing it real hard on stream and stuff." But I told him that I was taking screenshots of every tablet, and he was like, "That's so cool." It's like, you should just put that in the game. But I feel like that almost the more they help you in La Milana, it starts to lose something, so I don't know. I don't know if I would like RuneScape as much as I do if I didn't play La Milana, because it taught me a lot about trade-offs in game design. He was a really cool guy. He gave me a little La Milana keychain for playing the demo. Yeah, right? And it's an unlock you have to get, right? You don't have access to it right away. And it's not nearly enough memory. RuneScape quests are basically La Milana puzzles. I cheat for most of them. I use a walkthrough, but sometimes they're like so obtuse that it would massively increase the length of the playthrough if I tried to do them blind. I don't know what it is about it, but obtuse puzzle design is my shit. Oh god, I'm fucking dead! Oh. That was the absolute worst place I could have stood there. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. The way I decided to play it, like, the first 6 episodes are the worst because it's all agility grinding. But once quest starts, the quests are the fun content to watch. If you just had that tracker, but it was infinite, or you had the ability to make it infinite, I feel like you could chart out La Milana's upgrades in such a way that you don't need the infinite space upgrade for like a third of the game or something, so you're excited to get it because there's enough room in there to solve all the other puzzles up to that point. So what I did, Walter, I don't know if you watched that VOD series yet, but when I played La Milana 2, I took a screenshot of every tablet and then I like saved it with tag names. So I would like save it with almost every keyword that was in the tablet. Nice. I'll probably get to Classic WoW, yeah. I think that the part of the point I'm going to try to make in that video is Like, I think it's possible to understand why people like professional wrestling without being into professional wrestling. I think it's really easy as humans to, like, the reason you don't like something is because you're better than it, if that makes sense, rather than just, so this isn't really for me. I'm getting to that phase with RuneScape would be helpful, I think, for a lot of people. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. I will redeem that later, but got it, Robin. Tag number 2, right? I think Chaos was right in comparing it to like fishing, like real life fishing, where it's kind of meditative. If you've ever played a game before that you've been able to do at the same time as something else, like Pokemon Go is one. Sorry, I'm gonna mute Discord. I keep having to unmute it because I talked to Andrea on there. I should just add it to my pre-stream checklist. Something like Pokemon Go, you know, where like you might pop into a gym when you're out to dinner, and that's the extent of it. It is definitely not a thing that you do and give it your full attention whenever you're doing something that's boring. Like if you're just sitting there clicking rocks and you're not listening to a podcast or watching a movie or a TV show or a YouTube video or playing another game at the same time or working, then you're crazy. Awful and meditative, that's fair. It appeals to me in particular because I'm addicted to multitasking. Like, it's hard for me to watch TV without doing something else at the same time. I'm about to die. Yeah, that's the thing, is that, like, RuneScape is a game where you calibrate your attention level. And that's a point that I'm going to try to capture whenever I do this video thing. That, like, let's say that there's 1,000 things to do in the game, and the gamut runs from, like, literally AFK, step away from the game for 20 minutes before you have to make another input, to, oh my god, I'm getting a heart rate of 170 because this boss fight is so hard and I can't look away from it for a second or I'll die, you know. So it's like, whatever you've got time to do that day, or whatever you're trying to do at the same time, you can kind of calibrate and direct the content that you want to experience. Whereas, like, I feel like grinding in something like Classic WoW is always going to require a pretty minimum level of attention no matter what content you're attempting. I guess there's a difference between grinding mobs and grinding dungeons, right? Dungeons require more thought. Enjoys the accomplishment, not the process. Yeah. Well, I think that's the thing that does it for me, that once you finish the grind, like, the total landscape of the game changes. It's not something like Adventure Capitalist, where completing the grind is just unlocking a grind that has another 0 added to the end of it, right? It's like, oh, now there's this content that I couldn't even get to before. That works very differently. I'll turn on autopilot in Classic WoW. I think a lot of it too is that, like, every game has grinding, but a lot of modern MMO design is like attempting to obfuscate it as much as possible. Where it's like you're still logging in and doing the exact same task a million times. You're still running the dungeon over and over and fighting the same boss over and over. But because of the reward structure, it feels less naked than RuneScape, where it's like, no, literally, click this rock. Okay, click it again. Okay, now do that for 40 hours. Alright, you're mining 70. Congrats. Now you can fight God. Because I clicked a rock? Yes. It makes no sense. Roll with it. It actually makes me empathetic to people who are like super into Final Fantasy XIV's construction. Because if you're like really into visual novels and really into compelling endgame MMO content, then I bet Final Fantasy XIV is your fucking jam. Because it's like, I'm going to do this thing that I really, really love, and then every so often I'm going to do this other thing that I also really, really love. But as someone who hates visual novels, I don't hate visual novels, but quickly tire of visual novels, and loves the combat dungeon design of Final Fantasy XIV, it feels like I'm just like waiting to get to the good part, which is what I imagine RuneScape would be like for a lot of people if they don't find grinding meditative or don't benefit from the multitasking element. Shit. There we go. Let's get into the time-gated stuff. Even like when it comes to things that are AFK, as they call it in RuneScape, like there's even a gradient to how AFK we're talking. Like there's an activity that everyone has to do in that game that's basically just clicking on the same pixel, probably for hours. So that's a thing where you can like put 100% of your attention on a movie or something, and you just kind of have it in your right hand, just tapping the 5 key on mouse keys on your keyboard. I'm doing a great job of selling it. But I think if that was all it was for its own sake, it was like, just watch the numbers go up, then yeah, that would be kind of dumb, but it's because like you're like working, and then you like get a paycheck for finishing your job. It's like, okay, now that you've done that work, 1, you never have to do it again, and 2, now you can access content that was previously inaccessible. That's nothing like the thing you were just doing. Enjoyment of the game plummets when it becomes busy work. Yeah, I'd have to think about it. I think there are games that aren't RuneScape that include busy work that piss me off. So I'm still trying to figure out why I like this one and not other ones. I think it probably comes down to that reward calibration, that the grinding pays off in some way. And then once it's paid off, it's not something that ever needs to be repeated. And usually the payoff is often extreme. Like, it's not like, oh, now I'm 2% more effective. It's like, no, now I do double damage because I did this stupid rock-clicking minigame for 40 hours, you know? I gotta get up here and warp. I thought there was gonna be a warp that was easier in the other zone, so I turned around at the worst possible time. Actually get to a door. I guess left is slightly closer. Yeah, so like I find grinding dungeons in Final Fantasy XIV, which you could argue is more compelling attentive content than RuneScape. Well, you couldn't just argue it; it literally is. But I find grinding dungeons miserable because the reward for grinding dungeons is my efficacy increases by like, 0.04%, and the dungeons are calibrated to require that plus 0.04% increase. Okay, yeah, now I remember having to hit these guys because there's really nothing else in the area. Makes sense. about at time here, but I want to leave myself somewhere that makes sense for next week. Oh, it's like all the way at the bottom, isn't it? I think maybe I can climb back up there. Maybe it's up from here, actually. Let me see real quick. It's not dissimilar from something like Diablo, where it's like you're running greater rifts over and over. Like, I enjoy that running greater rifts thing in Diablo up until the very moment where it stops being an enormous upgrade. Once I start competing for like a 0.01% upgrade, I'm suddenly completely disinterested and just quit. But RuneScape's set up so that you're always like doubling your efficiency until you get to this insane level at the end. Path of Exile is exponentially increasing investment for exponentially diminishing returns. That's a really good way to put it. Diablo 3 is the same thing. Yeah. I would say that RuneScape is the inverse of that. Kind of. I guess it depends. You do have to invest more and more over time, but I would say the returns are exponentially increasing rather than diminishing. I'm sure you get to a point where you just hit a returns wall. It's like, you've done everything. That's it. You're done. There's nothing else to work on. All your goals have been achieved. Bye. Quit now. Okay. Thank you guys. This has been fun. Future Marstead, the messenger. Leave this room, go directly east, talk to the skull on the staff. That's going to get you some progress. Also, you just unlocked the water level. You can teleport there from the teleport room. Also, there's a secret chamber with a new area that's in the catacombs that you didn't find. It has 2 bats and a moving platform. So do those 3 things next episode, and you should make some decent progress. Then you start an alt. You play an Iron Man instead. The leagues are what reset that feeling of diminishing returns or seasons in Diablo.